Hi again. My phone can only hold so much, and I ran out of storage for the last time. So, I think I was talking about. I mentioned what atheists believe in, right? Which is everything, varies from person to person. And then something about what can we spend our whole life learning but not understand. I would imagine consciousness is still probably one of the best examples of something you can study a lot and not understand. Oh, and to make meaning in your own life. I think I talked about that. Yeah. So let's see where we are. Why music? Okay, why do I like music? For the same reason that anyone who is moved very much by some sort of expression of pure emotion or a good rhythm or a good composition, or in other realms, a beautiful piece of artistry or a beautiful scenic walk or whatever, I think we're moved because we feel somehow uplifted by the experience. Even sad songs bring people together. Neurologically, when we hear music, a lot of us, most of us, have a feeling of euphoria, connectedness with the people around us. It happens because of the oxytocin and other things that are going on in your brain chemistry that make you feel good. It's a really nice way to get a high without doing anything bad to you. And I really believe that sometimes music has expressed things when I listen to it in ways that I couldn't, but I felt very strongly about, whether it has lyrics or not. I've been very moved, and music can sometimes be a great catharsis. When I perform it, I hope to connect with other people in that kind of a way. And the few times that I think I've managed to do that have made me feel really good after the fact. So why music? Because it's one of the only universal languages that is understood by pretty much everyone in all circumstances. There's even ways for deaf people to experience music. It's I think also music is particularly helpful for people because it uses both hemispheres of the brain fairly equally, since it has a lot of repetitive patterns and things like that, but also can have great amounts of free-form expression and stuff. So that being the case, I think it reaches people in a way that sometimes certain kinds of art really can't. You have to really, you either like them or you don't. Music can kind of reach most people most of the time. Some people aren't really into it, but even they might be moved by something more in a movie because of the soundtrack than they're even aware of. So I just think it's a wonderful form of self-expression and something I will continue doing, even though I never made any money from it, really. I feel sad when I'm not doing it and better when I do. So yeah, that's why music. Let's see. A friend, I just saw this one. What is the best thing to eat before you perform? And something about cleaning guitar strings. Okay, so before I perform, I definitely like to eat. Some people can't; their stomachs are too nervous and they can't eat. But I always want to eat. But I'd give myself about an hour before. I tend personally to have to pee a lot before performance, so I'll actually have some liquids. But within an hour or so of the performance, I won't drink a whole lot of stuff. Maybe one glass of water, because I know myself I'll be in the bathroom just too much, and I'm afraid I'll miss my name being called or whatever it is. So, if I'm really nervous, I'll definitely eat maybe 1 to 2 hours before, so that I've got the energy and I'm not hungry, and that I have the focus. But if it's really close to performance time, I will be probably a little too nervous to eat. Plus, I don't want stuff in my teeth. and I will eat things like broccoli and whatever in my teeth. So, probably about an hour or so before I'll finish a meal, and then within a half hour or so I'll have a drink of water, so that my throat is lubricated. I'm usually singing if I'm on stage, and that's why I'd be there. So that's for me. And then things have time to settle. And if you are a person that gets particularly nervous, you don't want stuff squishing around in there. So kind of treat it like maybe before a workout, you'd wait a couple hours before you worked out. So think of this like that, because often when I perform, especially if I'm not playing guitar and I'm free to just jump around, I'll be doing quite a lot of that. And then I flail my arms a lot. I do a lot of up and down stuff. If I had just eaten, I'd probably... So, because you also get you get the adrenaline and everything going. So yeah, you don't want to make your stomach upset. Okay, do I clean my guitar strings? No. Once in a blue moon, I will take a dust cloth to them. Just one of those regular dust cloths. I do know that people do that. I am not enough of a guitar aficionado. Unfortunately, I kind of do it because I have to. I don't hate it. Sometimes I hate having to play guitar, and I'd rather just sing. But I was never that great. I've never studied it enough. I've never played it enough. It was just not enough of a passion. I'd rather just be singing. So I still don't want it to sound crap. And when my strings get really discolored or they feel really weird, or they start to get whatever, I will just get new strings. But I would ask a luthier about that. Best song to serenade cats with. Cats are individuals. That being said, I think there's actually some channels that claim to have music that animals like, but I would think it depends on the animals. I know that if they've been abused and there's a certain kind of music that people listen to in that environment, it might trigger them. Honestly, it might be unpleasant. The same way, I know that's true for dogs, and I've witnessed that with dogs. For cats, I mean, they're pretty chill. My mom likes to play jazz for their cats. Is it something else for them to listen to? I'm not sure they need it, but it can't hurt. I would just imagine that really loud death metal might be like, because loud noises in general tend to freak out animals if they're not acclimated to them. So, if they can relax to it, I would think that's probably good. And if they can relax to death metal, then okay. Just whatever makes them happy. I don't know. I did also see a video on a veterinarian that plays music for his animals, so that's really cool. And that means that there is some music that does soothe the creatures better than others, but it probably, again, it's probably got to do with what they associate with their environment. So if you always have classical on, it would be classical. If you always have rock and roll on, there might be that. Or it's just, I know that change is something that animals tend to get most reactive to. So ask your cats. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, okay. This is the ones I can't. Now I said I would answer these. I didn't say I would know the answer to all of these. So again, I'm gonna put links below to videos where people can explain stuff much better than I can. Can we travel faster than the speed of light? Not yet. Probably never. I think physically, if that were possible, and I'm gonna link Neil Degrasse Tyson videos below for this. If that were possible, that'd be phenomenal. But so far, that hasn't been the case. We'd probably die trying, because I don't know our bodies can take that kind of force. But yeah. Then there is, do I believe in the Big Bang? Yes. It makes the most sense for the way that the planets are all moving apart from each other still. And I will believe the predominant theories of most astrophysicists and cosmologists and things like that. Cosmologists? Did I just credit makeup artists with knowing science? Well, I guess some of them do. No, that's cosmetologists. See, this is why I don't tackle these things. This is unrehearsed. It's off the top of my head. Yeah, the Big Bang makes a lot of sense to me. There is a really interesting talk I did listen to, though, that dealt with other possibilities, more quantum theory related, which some people believe is woo, other people are open to, some people think is really the way to think about stuff, that would posit unending loops of parallel universes weaving in and out of each other, things like that. I don't know. But the Big Bang makes as much sense as anything else. Mathematically, it explains a lot, as far as I understand, with the current movement of planets and rotation and things like that. So I would tend to go with the consensus. And again, I'll have links below on people that talk about this stuff more in depth and with more articulate scientific terminology than I can muster here off the top of my tiny head. Gravity waves, And dark matter, would gravity waves help us explain dark matter, or would dark matter help us explain gravity waves? What? Oh, the theory of gravity explaining dark, something like that. Okay, so dark matter is most of the matter in the universe. It's all the stuff in between all the stuff we can see. And it does have its own, apparently, and they're learning more about this all the time, which is phenomenal. It does have its own gravity. It would explain why things would bend in outer space. I'm not sure if it would explain the way they bend on Earth, because within the planet's own system, things are going to work a little different, because we have our center of gravity in the middle of our planet and things get pulled down. So I don't know exactly what the question is, but I would imagine that you need a physicist to answer that one. So I will find one for you and post it below. These are the kind of things they interest me. Black holes interest me. Thinking about getting sucked into a black hole is phenomenal. Wormholes would explain interstellar travel, if there would be such a thing, or if it would be possible for such a thing. It's fascinating stuff. These theories are becoming more and more fine-tuned all the time as scientists learn more and more about the reality of our universe and about what's going on. And stay tuned. It's just only going to get more exciting. So if you're into science and stuff, I highly recommend Star Talk. Neil Degrasse Tyson talks science with everyday kind of ordinary people. Well, they're not ordinary. They're usually either very, very esteemed colleagues, or they are very esteemed actors or performers or things like that. But nonetheless, they're not necessarily astrophysicists like he is. But he explains a lot of the stuff in that show, and he also took up for Carl Sagan and was working on that series as well, the Cosmos series. So you can get a lot of that stuff answered in a way that makes a lot more sense than I'm going to be able to, but it is fascinating. Okay, let's see, what else? Why music? Yeah, cleaning your guitar straps. What does Hemlock mean? Do plants have feelings? No. Yeah, I think that's about it. So, these were kind of long videos. I don't know how long they should be. I've watched videos of other people that were 40 minutes, but this is gonna go up in 2 parts because my phone did cut out. So anyway, thanks for listening. I hope that answered some of your questions or inquiries, or that you stumped me well, and kudos. I hope that gives you a little insight as to how I am a healthy, happy vegan, and why I'm a healthy, happy atheist, or why, cats don't necessarily like death metal, but maybe yours do. I don't know. Anyway, if you want me to expand on any of these, I can make separate videos that are just subject specific, but this is a really fun challenge, and I'm going to edit these and put all the links below to everything I have referenced, plus probably a lot more. And thank you. This is a fun challenge. Let's try for round 2. All right. Bye. See you all on the net.